Gotta love that. Okay, I was gonna do a fancy unboxing for these, and then I realized there isn't much of a box to this. So, white box special. The wind is pretty quiet until I walk out to do something, then it'll blow. But anyway, what this is, it's a motion light, typical security looking light. It's got the PIR sensor, LED, 10 watts, IP65 is the waterproof rating for outside. They're actually smaller than you think they are. You know, if you've ever used the old halogen work lights, you have a picture in your head how big this is. It's about half as big as that. You know, I'm holding it, so it's a couple inches, you know, from here to here or so. Built-on bracket. The bottom part, it's movable. You can loosen up this knob here and adjust this part up and down. On the bottom of the sensor is 3 dials. One is sensitivity, and in testing that does seem to make a difference of how wide it can see. The middle one is time, that's how long it'll stay on. Oops, just kicked the tripod there. Lux is not how bright the light is, but how low the outside light is before this will work. And from testing that, if you have it all the way, I'd have to check that to be sure, but I think if you turn it all the way clockwise, it'll come on in daylight, and if you turn it all the way counterclockwise, it'll have to be quite dark before it comes on. And these run on 12 volts, okay, which is great for an off-grid situation like what I've got. Okay. So normally, you know, if you're in city, hooked up to city power, normal electricity, this isn't the light for you. This is perfect if you live in a motorhome, especially if you're boondocking, or out here in the desert where you're not hooked up to county power, and all of your power is coming off of solar panels or generator or batteries or windmills, okay? Now you can run solar panels to charge your batteries and then run an inverter, and from the inverter run normal power. So then you could use a regular 110 volt motion sensing security light, which, you know, would be fine. What I'm doing out here, most of my lighting is running 12 volts, and I typically only turn a light on outside if I'm going outside. Now that means I always have a flashlight in my pocket or something like that. So what I'm hoping to do with this is be able to walk out the door, and when the light sees me, it turns it on, and then I can see where I'm going, do my business outside, whatever I got to do. And then when I walk back in and I forget to turn the light off, after 2 or 3 minutes, the light will turn itself off, and then I don't waste my battery power. The other option is like when I get home after dark, the light will turn on and I don't have to be fumbling for my flashlight all the time. I'm not really personally in a situation where I need lights to turn on to scare away the bad guys. I don't have a lot of traffic out here, so that's not really my point. It's just a matter of convenience for me to be able to walk outside and have a light come on and not leave a light on constantly from sundown to sunup. On my solar charge controller, there is an option I can program it that when it sees the end of the daytime relative to how much power is coming in off the solar panels, it can automatically turn on a light circuit, which I may use, but I don't need or want to have lights on constantly all through the night. I kind of like the idea that nobody really knows I'm out here. I mean, I've got some little yard lights, but they're not really visible from the road, and there's no sense advertising the fact that I'm here. The big yellow school bus is pretty obvious as it is. So, okay, as far as the actual unboxing, since I kind of hinted at that, pretty much a generic white plain box, not a retail box. There's the label. Let's see if I can shade that because it's really bright. That makes it worse. Okay. GLW 10 watt motion, LED motion, Senso, bulb equivalent, plug new, no plug new. Okay. That's what it looks like. That's just, it does come with some instructions, which are your pretty typical Chinese attempt at English. It does describe how to use the dials on the bottom to adjust it. And earlier I tested these inside one of them, and that does seem to work. I just hooked it up to one of my 12 volt cordless drill batteries and was testing it, and if you're not in front of it after a while, the light turns off. You put your hand in front of the sensor, it turns on again. So it's pretty straightforward. From what I can see, it's just going to be, that's probably a 10 millimeter. I'm going to loosen that up, put this in a position where I can mount it to something, and then we'll wire it up. Red positive, black negative, and you're done. Okay, sorry about the wind. Deal with it, right? Texas, yo. I've already got 12 volt power wired into the camper, so that makes it a lot easier to run wires from there. So I'm going to run a short wire from my feed in the camper, mount the light probably just underneath where the red tail light is that's left over from when it was on the truck, and we'll go from there. Alright, it's mounted and it works. It's kind of pointless to play with the settings in the daytime. You have to turn it to maximum lux to get it to come on in the daytime, and then you can get the sensor to work. So I'm going to do the final part tonight after dark. Okay, we're going to try this again. Tried this morning. It was close enough to sunrise that it just so happened the motion light worked when I walked outside. I came in, got the camera set up, opened the door again. The light didn't come on because it was just bright enough. I mean, it literally happened within that last minute. So, when I'm in the bus, if I open the door, like so, the light comes on outside because it sees the door opening. So the sensor is just exactly right for that. So then I can walk out, and you'll see how they actually got a little, that little light right here is a little solar light. And then this is the bright light. That's the motion control light. And then over here, we've got a couple more solar lights. So, just to show that this will work, come out here, we'll just set up the camera on the tripod and just kind of watch. And about there. And once I start walking back, the light comes on. So that works out really well. Yeah, it's 3:41, so it was about 2 minutes 20 seconds, but it might have seen me moving around. I was just kind of off to the edge of the light circle there. And the same thing if I walk around the edge of the bus. Also, if I come out of the camper shell, as soon as the door starts to open, the light pops on immediately. So that works out really well. Yeah, I've been using that light now for a couple of weeks, I guess. It's been working out really well. I'm definitely happy with it. The amount of light that it kicks off, it's totally usable. You can walk around here no problem. You know, you can see every pebble, and if there's a snake on the ground, you'd probably notice it, kind of thing. Nice and white. I like that. Compared to the solar light, it looks really yellow compared, you know, side by side. So, cool.